here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bring news just for you. It's Friday, August 2nd here in Seoul. I'm Song Yujin, and you're watching News Generation. Today, we're joined by Cheska Dainho.
Happy August, everyone!
Happy August!
Happy August!
And Choi Ji-hee.
And happy Friday.
And happy Friday. Now, both are here to speak on behalf of those in their 20s and 30s. Now, as usual, we're going to start with our news feed, which covers different hashtags and news items that have been trending online. If you're a big fan of zero-sugar soft drinks, you might want to think again. Research by the Korea Consumer Agency on 14 zero-sugar soft drinks sold in Korea found that all of them contain sweeteners. Although the sweetener levels in each drink range from 3 to 13% of an adult's daily intake limit, the agency recommends that health-conscious individuals reduce their consumption of these beverages. Now, this is the reason behind this is because due to the presence of caffeine and calories in some of these soft drinks, and they suggest drinking water instead. Now, moving on, Emmy-winning Netflix original series Squid Game has officially announced the release date for its second season. According to the streaming platform on Thursday, the new season will be available on December 26th, and the final third season is set to be released sometime next year. Director Hwang Dong-hyuk confirmed that Song Gi-hoon, portrayed by Korean actor Lee Jung-jae, the protagonist who vowed revenge at the end of season 1, will return and participate in the game again. Finally, in sports, we end off with the Paris 2024 Summer Olympic Games by highlighting a South Korean athlete who has captured the internet's attention. Sharpshooter Kim Ye-ji, who won a silver medal in the women's 10-meter air pistol event on Sunday, is in the spotlight now even more than when she won her medal. This surge in attention began when a video of Kim competing in Azerbaijan in May went viral on X, garnering over 11 million views since it was uploaded on Monday. So here in the studio, I want to ask our panelists, could you also tell us more about this video, and did you actually see this?
Oh yes, of course. I watched it multiple times.
Oh, multiple times.
Yes, so Kim Ye-ji is looking very charismatic. She looks like one of those assassins from a sci-fi movie. She looks like a main character. She looks very steady and calm when she's shooting, and that video that you just mentioned of her back in May in Azerbaijan was the coolest ever because she has her cap backwards and after her final shot she is just looking very steady and calm, and she has those sharp chin lines.
You remember everything from the video.
I'm so into her. Yeah, and she opens up her blinder and she checks her score, but she looks so calm, and it looks as though she's checking out if her target has been hit or not.
I didn't even know she was checking the score.
Yeah, she's checking the score. Yeah, so if you haven't watched it, please do watch it.
Well,
not once, twice, 3 times.
Like multiple times.
Multiple times.
So I think that we have a new Kim Ye-ji fan here right now, which is like her cool chic, her posture has definitely captured a lot of people around the globe. So Cheska, I want to ask you, what have been some of the most notable comments or reactions to the athlete and her video?
I mean, Jihee's reaction is definitely one of them, but it was very interesting because she did not only steal the hearts of the Korean fans, but stole millions and millions of fans out there in the world. And my social media is always constantly playing algorithms, and I'm seeing very interesting comments about how she looks like the Leon, the professional of the movie, and she looks like a killer. She has the main character energy. And even Elon Musk posted on his X, quoting, saying she doesn't need any acting because she's just fit for the assassin part, like she needs to be a movie character. And there was one interesting comment that I read that I found quite hilarious and I wanted to share. I think she was a foreign fan, and she went, "I don't know if I'm frightened of her, if I'm in love with her, or if I want to be her."
But it shows that fan is definitely interested.
Not just interested, I think it's very into it.
Right, so I think that a lot of our viewers who haven't seen this video might want to know more about or are curious about this athlete. Now, Kim Ye-ji's journey at Paris 2024 isn't over yet, that's the good news. And today she'll be competing in the qualifying round of her specialty event, the 25-meter pistol. And that was our news feed for this Friday. So moving on to our main discussion of the day, we're actually going to stay with the Paris 2024 Summer Olympic Games, which has been the biggest news around the globe this week. So today we're going to do a mid-games recap. So let's first start by highlighting Team Korea's achievements so far. South Korea has already surpassed its initial goal of winning 5 gold medals, performing, well, better than expected, which is a great news for Team Korea, its athletes. So out of all the events so far, a lot took place this week. What were some of the most memorable matches or athletes that stood out to you?
You know, as of today, Friday, August 2nd, 9 a.m. here Korea time, we are currently ranked 7th with 6 gold medals and a total of 12 medals. And I actually read such a hilarious comment online about the categories of Korea's winning medals. So they are, if you look at them, there are guns, arrows, swords, and judo, which are all categories related to fights. And as some of us may know from history, I think we're one of the countries that had to fend off invasions, intrusions, and attacks constantly. So to me personally, knowing the history and as a Korean, it was quite remarkable how a country with such an amazing war talent spent all its energy kind of within. I was actually quite proud of that, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I think it's kind of in our blood that we're good at like fencing, archery, and shooting as well.
Yes.
Now, Cheska talked about these precision sports, and I want to ask you, Ji, what kind of sports or athletes did you find interesting?
Well, the most memorable moments for me personally during the Olympics so far is the team games of archery of women's and men's. The women's team was actually going for their 10th consecutive gold, which they achieved, and the men's team was going for the 3rd medal. And what was interesting was the shootouts that the women's team have played. They looked really calm and steady during the games, but once their victory was assured, all of their faces would just melt with the smile of triumph. And I just love that human moment,
yeah, that moment.
Yeah, that moment. And I also enjoyed watching the mixed doubles of table tennis.
Oh, that was really fun. It was interesting.
It was really fun. Shin Yoo-bin and Im Jong-un. And after the game, after securing that bronze medal, I saw Shin Yoo-bin saying, "Congratulations, oppa," because the audio wasn't caught officially. But then if you win a medal in one of these international competitions,
and also a gold in Asian Games.
Yes, Asian Games. Then that's right. Thank you for the clarification. It means Im Jong-un won't have to serve in the army.
Right, so he's exempt from the original mandatory 18-month military service. So
which is very important in Korea.
For males here in Korea. Now, before we continue further with our discussion on Paris 2024, we're actually first going to invite to our talks a Korean Gen Z who visited Paris to watch the games live. We'll be right back after the break. Right, so today we're joined by Kim Min-jin, a Korean Gen Z, and she recently traveled to Paris to experience the Olympics firsthand. Great to have you back on the show, Min-jin.
Hello, nice to meet you again.
Hi. Oh, please proceed.
No, I'm just excited to be here to share my experience and memories in Paris.
Great, we're excited to have you once again on our show. So our first question for you, Min-jin, is can you describe the overall atmosphere and mood in Paris after the games kicked off last Friday, because you were there and watching the games?
Yes, it was really festive there, and so many people came to Paris from all around the world, and everyone can feel we are all excited. And also there were so many people, and it was very crowded, but then it was still safe in the level that there were higher level of securities and police everywhere.
I'm sure it's really different when you're actually at the scene, feeling the energy of the game. Which sports did you get to watch, and what was it like experiencing them in person? Please share it with us.
I went to a women's handball game between Korea and Slovenia because, Korea's women's handball is really strong, and they've won multiple medals before. And personally, it was my first time to go to world class level. And it was really different to see in person. And there were a few Koreans like me went to see the game in person, and we cheered in Korean all together. So even we are all strangers, we bonded immediately and we enjoyed the time.
I see. I can really see that you're really excited in Paris. So as someone who's been to Paris for these Olympics, what do you think makes this particular Olympics special or unique compared to the previous Olympics?
So first of all, it's Paris, so it was all more beautiful. And as the theme is Olympic for everyone, like little details were going through the like unity, integrity, and also one interesting thing I saw was as if they are going forward for eco-friendly Olympic events, there was water fountain you can use instead of the plastic bottles.
Sounds very interesting. It seems like you had a really fun time there. I have one more question for you, Minjin. How do you plan to enjoy the rest of Paris 2024, and what are you looking forward to?
So I needed to come back to Budapest after a few of the games, but I'm planning to watch them on TV and then cheer for all the athletes to enjoy the event as well.
Lovely. All right, Minjin, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, so as Minjin mentioned, the Olympics is like a global sports celebration where people from all around the world come together and enjoy the games. So for more, we also asked our viewers what they found most impressive or outstanding about the Paris Olympics so far. And here's what 3 of them had to say. So if we look at the comments, Leon says the opening ceremony is what I found most impressive so far. The departure from traditional stadium-based events. I really love the integration of the Seine River into the spectacle. Another impressive point is the inclusion of new sports like breaking. Hiran says the best part of the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics was seeing Zinedine Zidane. And Sunny J says the best part was the opening ceremony. It showed how rich French culture is, including high fashion, history, and sports, and how beautiful the scenery of Paris is. Also, it was impressive to see Celine Dion on stage again. So starting from the opening ceremony, Paris 2024 definitely drew a lot of attention from around the world. So before the live interview, we mostly focused on Team Korea and its achievements, but let's talk about the Paris Olympics in general. There were a lot of keywords and issues that were brought up even before the game started. Now, one of the major points of the attention was the game's ambitious goal, which Minjin mentioned to be the eco-friendly Olympics, or probably the greenest Olympics ever, right, Cheska?
Yeah, and as you mentioned, there was definitely some very notable attempts that were made at it, and CNN also reported as one of the most sustainable Olympics ever held, including the cardboard beds, which all will be recycled, and the athletes actually posted a lot of funny videos about trying to test how durable it was, and the entire game is supposedly run on renewable energy. Now, in an interview, they did say that they were reusing buildings and venues instead of usually building new stadiums when it comes to these kind of global events. Interestingly enough, they also got rid of the ACs in athletic villages. So instead of providing, they provided trees for shelters and also used seashells for sidewalks. And they even announced that this village itself will actually be reused as a new neighborhood. But there were some issues, though, about the food qualities and the steaming hot shuttle buses because they were not really affording the AC, which could potentially affect the conditions of the athletes in the boiling heat.
Right, so trying sustainability and going for a Green Olympics is definitely what we can learn from. But from the Paris Olympics, we can definitely see what we can improve in the future.
Yes, I really think it was a great attempt. I hope that there are some things we can do better next time, for sure.
Right, so it's definitely a start of a much needed, meaningful change. Now, talking about the Paris Olympics, another keyword, or should I call the controversy, was actually surrounding the Seine River, which is the venue for the triathlon and marathon swimming events. And many were, and they're actually still concerned about the river's water quality, right?
Yeah, well, the water quality of the Seine River has always been an issue, and because of the level of bacteria in there, it's been banned. Swimming has been banned there for years, actually. But then, in order to hold some sporting events, as you've mentioned earlier, during the Paris Olympics, Paris actually underwent a major purification effort, and even the mayor of Paris promised to swim in the waters, which initially faced a lot of criticism. But then she ended up keeping her promise and actually swam in there. But even so, there have been research evidence and results showing that there is still a very dangerously high level of E. coli and other bacteria that's usually found in feces in the waters. So it is really concerning the health of the athletes who will have to and who have swum in this river.
Right, definitely. And there was kind of like this footage that kind of went viral online when a Canadian athlete, I remember he actually threw up after swimming in the Seine River. He was a triathlon athlete, so it kind of shows, we don't know what the exact cause, whether it was his personal health issues or etc. But it definitely, the fact that this footage has gone viral shows how much people are being concerned about the water quality of the river. So hope there are no more health concerns or health complications regarding this. Now, going back, let's kind of shift the mood. Let's kind of change the mood a bit and talk about more happy topics. So,
Olympic is a festival.
Right, right, it is. Let's go back to the festive mood. So, as the Olympics are a mega sporting event, the competitions are no doubt the highlight, but the games also offer visitors a unique chance to experience and connect with various cultures. And starting with the official uniforms, each team, the athletes, they wear at the opening and closing ceremonies that show each country's culture and beauty as well. Now, for our viewers, the reason why we wore this outfit, this is actually the Team Korea outfit that I received during the Hangzhou Asian Games that I covered last year. And Cheska and Jihee, they are actually wearing jackets that resemble Team Korea's uniform this time, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it is such a fitting question because Jihee and I both attempted our very, very best.
I think you succeeded.
Yay! To mimic South Korea's official Olympic uniform with its beautiful turquoise jacket with the Korean flag attached on the chest.
Right.
You know, Korea used a blue palette that was reminiscent of Korea's beautiful traditional porcelain known as 청화백자, combined with an extremely modern style for flexibility and movement. So it was actually a perfect blend of tradition and new. And it was so exciting to see the opening ceremony and watch the flood of beautiful Olympic uniforms because you could really, really see the identity of each of the countries well manifested. I remember seeing Haiti and the beautiful, gorgeous pattern. And one of the most sensational one, I believe, was that of actually Mongolia.
I think a lot of people do think that way.
And it has been viral on social media even before the opening ceremony, right? Yeah, and given that I was actually in Mongolia only 3 weeks ago, I was quite surprised. I thought it was my algorithm that was popping, but I guess the whole world was inspired because the garment was inspired by the traditional Mongolian clothes, tel, and I couldn't take my eyes off the embroidery, and supposedly it spends 20 hours to just make one costume. So there were some hilarious comments about how it was already a victory garment because the Mongolians were the best dresser to the Olympics.
Right, definitely. Now let's talk. We're currently talking about the cultural aspects of Paris 2024, and this time a new sport actually debuted as an official Olympic event that kind of combines culture and sport at the same time, right?
That's right. So we actually covered the Olympics topic last Friday, which was the day of the opening ceremony, and we said that breaking was the new sport that was officially added during the Olympics this time. And of course, the notable figure or the athlete is Hong Ten. He's a 40-year-old breaking athlete.
Wow. So inspiring.
It's very inspiring.
That's
so
monumental.
It is. And he had to win all those players, world-class players who were at least 1 to 20 years even younger than him to win his ticket to Paris. And his energy really shows that age is nothing when it comes to sports, when it comes to Olympics. It really shows and embraces the spirit of the Olympics for sure. And also, actually, they made their debuts during the Tokyo Olympics a few years ago. There's also skateboarding, sport sport, climbing, and even surfing, which have been included this time as well. And all these sports are very dynamic. They're very popular among the MZers. Many play it as their hobbies as well. So that's also notable. And Cheska will tell us in more detail, but we have the largest ever Korea house that's operating at the center of Paris.
Right. So last but not least, let's talk about a bit of K-culture that you guys can experience at Paris. So Cheska, could you please briefly tell us about the Korea house?
Yeah, absolutely. As Ji mentioned, it's the largest Korea house in Olympics that opened in the central part of Paris. And in just about 5 days, I think the reported number of visitors was more than about 16,000 people, sorry. Half of them being almost foreigners. And I went online and saw the beautiful Korean trinkets that are being on sale, and the program, which they named it called Play the K, was all about K-sports, K-food, K-culture, and performance, which included ballet and b-boying. I read in the article that the food was so popular among foreigners that people were actually lining up to eat bibigo food and drink kas beer. So they're also organizing and officiating like group rallies and cheers to support the official Olympic Games.
Right. So this is actually the biggest Korea house since Korea ran this venue since 2004. Now, last but not least, another place where you could experience Korean culture was actually the medal ceremony at the Olympics, right?
That's right. So this was a very touching moment, and the photo went viral online as well because there was a photo taken by the North Korean and South Korean athletes together. This was right after the table tennis mixed doubles, and later the Chinese athletes joined the photo.
Right.
And this really once again embraced the spirit of the Olympics because there's no government, there's no borders when it comes to sports and the Olympics. And it was particularly touching for us because even though our country is still divided, this really shows that the culture, the shared values among the athletes is still there, you know, and it was very significant because it was all shown symbolically through this group photo.
Hope we can see more of these heartwarming moments in the future. Now, my last question for both of you guys, very shortly, anything you'd like to say to Paris 2024 or those who are participating in it as we're almost halfway through the Games?
Yeah, as Ji mentioned, I think Olympic is one of the largest global event, sportsmanship and unity. So I do hope that a lot of countries come together. And one of the most memorable moments I think I saw was actually during men's archery, when even though one of the rival players shot 1 point, the Korean public went to cheer the player. So I hope that we show more grace and more open to these kind of events. Yeah.
Lovely. How about you?
Safety comes first, so no injury for the athletes, and I hope that they can all unleash their potential during these times because they've worked so hard for this very moment. And also, no more disrespectful mistakes. We're the Republic of Korea, not DPRK. Yes.
Right. Well, all I want to say is go athletes, go staff, go volunteers, and go Paris 2024. And that's all from us today, but Newsden will be back next Monday at 9:30 a.m. Korea time. Special thanks today to Cheska Dainho.
Pleasure's always mine. Thank you.
And Choi Ji-hee.
Thank you.
And before we go, one last reminder that Arirang TV is conducting a program survey including News Generation until August 4th, that is Sunday. So please visit us at our official website or mobile app for your valuable feedback. Once again, thank you everyone for watching and hope you have a lovely weekend. We are News Generation.